Walther designed the PDP Pro from the ground up to be an optics-ready duty pistol with better ergonomics than other offerings out on the market. For me, I didn't understand it until I got it to the range and came to the conclusion it just might be one of the most complete duty pistols right out of the box. Welcome back everybody, Mike here, and today we're going to be talking about the PDP Pro SD right here from Walther. Now this has quickly become one of my favorite pistols and a little bit more well-equipped than most of the other things out there in the market. So the only question I guess is left to answer is, by the end of the video, are you going to agree with me? All right, straight to the range performance, because that's what really matters, right? So like I said, it has become one of my favorite pistols out on the range, and there are several different reasons for that, which we're going to get into right now. But the performance out there has just been everything I would want when it comes to a self-defense or an actual work pistol, something that is a duty pistol more than just a range toy. We got to pause for a quick second because I probably should have said this up front, but I have no financial ties to Walther. I bought this PDP Pro SD and I bought several other Walther pistols as well. So just in case you were curious if I seem kind of excited about this pistol, it's just because I think it's solid. So moving on to that range performance again, I've tried just about every different type of ammo you can try on this thing. Everything from cheap range ammo, DRZ, cellular and pellet, PMC, federal, all the way through really nice self-defense ammo, critical duty, Spear Gold Dot plus P, American Gunner. I have tried every self-defense ammo that I had laying around in it, all of which ran without issues. Now the angles on the PDP Pro are extremely natural for me. The pistol grip is much more vertical than some others in the market, and that is what I prefer. The grip and its texture is a blend of different designs that keep your hands in place on that pistol grip where you want them, even when you're out there sweating in the Arizona summer heat. The trigger is flat out one of, if not the best, right out of the box for a striker wig, and we will definitely do some trigger pulls and some up close work so you can see how that dynamic performance trigger performs. It does have a little bit of a higher bore axis, which some say causes more muzzle rise and is a little bit more difficult to fire. But the overall design of this pistol, the grip with the pinky ledge at the base, I really do find that even though it may be slightly more snappy than our pistols, it returns to my point of aim and zero much faster than other pistols out there in the market. And for me, it's just extremely natural. And just about everybody I have introduced to these pistols seems to love them right off the bat. Now running drills out there, the thing just felt absolutely great. From that initial trigger pull through the reload drills, the transitions, everything went as I would hope it, having owned a couple of these PDPs previously. The mag release was especially nice because it's a little bit of a larger diameter with very nice knurling texture on it, but it just seemed to be right where I wanted it to minimally break my grip when I was doing an emergency or even a tactical exchange with a magazine. The performance out of the box is honestly exactly what I would look for in a carry pistol or a work pistol for professional use. And I know as a young ranger or law enforcement officer, I would have loved to have had a pistol like this when I was in both of those careers because it's just so much better than what I was issued at the time. If you guys like the content or you like seeing new stuff like this PDP Pro SD and you find this helpful or insightful or anything like that, or you just want to help the 2A community, consider subscribing to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. It makes sure you will see all the content that comes out. And also I suggest subscribing to all of the other gun tuber or gun channels that you watch because it really helps us all, cuts down on the censorship and makes sure that our voices are still heard. So if you think you're subscribed, give me that discount, double check, make sure you still are, but turn the notifications on, hit the sub button, maybe leave a comment. It really does help the channel out. Now, when it comes to the PDP Pro SD model, there are some differences that we need to talk about between the standard models so you really have an idea of what you are getting. The first thing we're going to talk about, you will get taller night sights with this. These are the XS bold front sights that came on this version. There are some others that are out there and available. You will also get a little bit of a longer threaded barrel on this so you can run a compensator or a suppressor, completely up to you. You're going to get 3 18-round magazines that have a different base plate on the bottom, and you need to pay attention to that because they're not going to work retroactively with some other base plates like the Floyd's Custom Shop. So the other thing is you're gonna get the magwell, which is awesome. I'm a huge fan of magwells because they generally only help you get a better grip and speed you up. But you also get that dynamic performance trigger that Walther is known for. And they do make a compact version of the SD Pro as well. So if you don't want the full size one, you can get one that's a little bit easier to carry around all day. As far as the main specs go, so we don't get too deep into the woods here, this is gonna be obviously a polymer striker fired 9mm. It's gonna have a 4.5-inch slide, a 5.1-inch threaded barrel. Overall length on this is gonna be 8.6 inches. The width of it is gonna be 1.34 in total, so very similar to the width of a Glock. It's gonna have interchangeable back straps, multiple pick rail slots out front for all of your accessory needs, whether it's a light or a mini bayonet. And the weight is gonna come in at 27.5 ounces. Now for my spec army out there that needs to see all of the details, here you go with a fine selection of new music. All right, we're gonna take a good up close look here at the flat face dynamic performance trigger on the PDP Pro SD. As you can see, flat face, the safety goes all the way sub flush on the trigger shoe, as you can see right there. That is your take up to an immediate wall, no creep, and just an absolute clean break. Reset here, as you can see, audible, tactile, and just breaks again. Probably one of the cleanest, if not the cleanest factory triggers there is out in a striker rig. Not a 1911, but in a striker rig. We'll go ahead and do 3 pulls with the new gauge that a viewer sent in. So thank the new viewer in the comment that sent that in. Apparently didn't like that the fact the old digital one gave crapped out on us a little bit. So we'll do 3 pulls here. All right, so that one came out 4 pounds flat. Make sure you're out of the way. All right, 4.28 pounds on that one. And this one doesn't go like pounds and ounces. It's like 4.28 pounds. So if you think it's in an ounce reading, it's actually not. We'll go a little higher on the trigger shoe this time, kind of right there. And that one went to 4.94. And then I'm gonna go real low on the trigger shoe just to show you guys that your finger placement does matter when it comes to the trigger shoe. All right, and that one went down to 3.84 pounds. So overall, that thing is not only just a super solid looking trigger, but the thing absolutely performs. Now this Walther PDP Pro has a lot going for it, but there are really 3 things that are kind of my top attributes when it comes to this pistol. And since we just got done with the trigger, we might as well start there because the trigger in this thing is phenomenal. Everything from the break, the reset, the tactile feel in your finger, the flat trigger engagement, I'm a huge fan of that. Overall, just extremely well executed when it comes to the dynamic performance trigger. Now, the standard Walther models are not gonna have that. They're gonna have the standard curve trigger. And although it is still one of the best striker triggers out there, the flat face dynamic performance trigger just takes it to the next level. And number 2 on that list is gonna be that magwell right there. So as you can see, not only does it help with that grip, but it's also gonna help slam those magazines in there just a little bit faster. Say you're off to the left or right. It's gonna help you get them in there just a little bit quicker. And when tenths of a second count for my competition shooters, that can be a very big deal. And the last big positive attribute for me is going to be the little side swells on the grip. So I don't know why, I normally hate finger grooves and things like that, but for some reason, it just fits in my hand so well. And I'll roll in some footage, but it's just got ever so slight rises in the finger grooves on the side rather than in the front. And for some odd reason, it just seems to work for me. And like I said, just about everybody else I've introduced these pistols to. Now, is there something I don't like or something I would change when it comes to the PDP Pro SD model specifically? Because nobody gets a pass on the channel. And even though I really do think this is one of the most capable, complete duty pistols out right now, and this may be nitpicking, but there's something I would change. It has to do with one of those positives, actually. That's gonna be the magwell. So if you look at the magwell right there, there are some flat surfaces right here. Now, that can cause a little bit of a hang-up area, but it's a lot better than a traditional just open polymer grip. So if I had to nitpick this thing, I would say get rid of those indentions. And I know it's there to help strip the magazine like this, but there's plenty of room in the front and the back to strip the mag. So just continue the profile of that magazine all the way around. Get rid of those little notches right there, and I think it would have been absolutely perfect when it comes to the design of the mag well. Now the price point on this exact model, obviously minus the optic and the light on there, MSRP is at $849, but pretty much everywhere I saw had them for like $799. So call it a flat even 800 bones. And I don't know about you, but for the way that this thing comes out of the box, the options that it has that are things you normally have to add, which is better sights, better trigger, magwell, base plates, all that stuff, that's a pretty exceptional price point from a manufacturer that's bringing those parts to the market complete on the pistol already. So you're not having to go spend 100 bucks on a magwell, 30 bucks for each mag extension, and 100 bucks for a set of really good sights that are going to allow you to use backup irons should your optic ever go down. So I don't know about you guys, let me know in the comments, but $799, even that $850 seems like a solid price point when you compare it to others in the market, like say a brand new Gen 5 MOS Glock 17, which you don't get a threaded barrel and you'd have to upgrade magwell, sights, trigger. You're going to spend a lot more money in that. So what Walther did here was give us out there in the world that usually buy that stuff aftermarket on the pistol from the factory. All right, everybody, if you want to support the channel, the biggest thing you can do is subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. It is a huge help. But you can also check out the swag store. It's linked down below where you can get the patches, hats like this, t-shirts, all that good stuff. Or check that build list out, which you're going to have all the parts so you can do your own research in case you want to pick anything up. And of course, I have Patreon and all that stuff, which huge shout out to them. They are a massive support structure for the channel, but all of those things really do help. Remember up front when I said this is my favorite go-to striker rig, and I said the only thing left was to figure out whether you were going to agree with me by the end of the video. Let me know down in the comments what you think the best overall duty rated pistol is in the market. Not a range toy, something that you would put a light on, put an optic on, and actually go to work with out there in the world. Leave that comment below. Keep doing it out on the range. And remember, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. I will see you all on the next one.